Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Paths of Exile tutorial. So today we're going to be continuing our series of non-mapping specific content by focusing on the bestiary. Specifically, we're going to be taking a look at a couple different crafting things that you can do with the blood altar for both profit and fun. I say separate the two because there are guaranteed profitable strategies with the bestiary, and then there are there's the gambling, and we will go ahead and get into that. So first off here, as mentioned in my previous video, you can take exceptional support gems, such as these here, and by using this particular recipe, you will get 3 level 20 quality gems in return. This can be exceptionally rewarding, as the RNG of what you're going to get is, well, at the very minimum worth a GCP. Sometimes you wind up with something much better. The last video I showcased a few live events of me doing this, and we wound up with something in the neighborhood of, I believe, 3 divines, 2 divines, somewhere in there. So we're just going to go ahead and run through all of these ones that I have real quick and show what we get for our rewards. We're going to do this quickly as we can. The level of the gem and the quality on the gem do not matter for what you are sacrificing. So obviously you want to use the cheapest one, which at the time of this recording I do believe is the pacifism support. It might be something different when you watch this. It might be something different in future videos or in future leagues. It's hard to say. I'm just going to go ahead and throw all these on the ground just because. So we have 11 total on this. And we're not going to take and look at the pricing on all of them, as that would be far too time consuming, I feel. We are also going to go ahead and just turn off the loot. In fact, why don't we just do this? Nope. Is this one? Nope. We'll leave it on this one. We'll go ahead and just pick them all up. I take it back. I was going to leave them like that, but unfortunately, that gets a little annoying. So, all right. So, other than this, one of the other really fun crafting mechanics that you can do is creating nightmare maps. Now, in order to get the nightmare map recipe, you do need a specific wild beast. That beast in question is this one, the Primal Cyst Caller. At the time of recording, you can get these for around 20 to 30 chaos, usually towards the 30 chaos end, and an unidentified nightmare map goes for like 40 chaos. Generally, though, if I remember correctly, they give it to you identified, so the price that you get can be very volatile if you get a good nightmare map versus a bad nightmare map. So just something to kind of keep an eye on. In some leagues, it's very profitable to do that, especially if everybody is running bestiary, and so the price of beasts is cratered, as is sometimes the case. This league, beasts are kind of a mixed bag. It is a crafting league after all. Crafting leagues tend to be pretty good. So whether you get a good one or a bad one, it just depends. So we're going to go ahead and finish these, and then we're going to hover over the different ones. Actually, we'll go ahead and start while we're doing this. So a 2020 Impending Doom, that's pretty good. Archmage support, that's pretty good. Endurance Charge on melee stun is so-so. Eternal Blessing is good. Chance to Bleed is bad. Behead is bad, usually. Minion Speed is good. Mark on Hit is good. Meat Shield is good. Nightblade can be good. Overexertion can be good. It just kind of depends. Cast on Melee KO is bad. Cold to Fire can be good, especially this league. Blind Support is bad. Well, I say bad. I don't mean they're actually bad. I just mean that they're not worth a whole heck of a lot. Barrage support can be good, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it there. Slow Proj is good with certain builds. Urgent Orders is kind of whatever. Spellblade can be good. Chance to poison is kind of whatever. Some builds need it, other builds don't. Minion damage is good. Intensify is good. Decay can be good, although most of the time you'll just see the Oshabi Helm. Charge Mines can be good, and Arcane Surge support can be good. Cast on Death was good. Predator support is usually good. Howl support I know nothing about, so I'm just going to put it there. All right. Now, when I say these are good, what I'm meaning is that the output of the gem itself is worth more than the entire recipe to do this. So, all of these, I suspect, are going to be at a minimum. Rage Support can be good, Cold Pen is good, Swift Affliction is good, will be at a minimum of 20 Chaos or better for the gem. As I mentioned before, the beasts, the 3 yellow beasts, if you buy them and you don't bulk buy from like TFT, but just actually use the trade interface. I will show you guys that in a moment. Chain support is pretty bad. Flamewood Surge, I don't really know, don't care. And trap support is whatever. So, we got a mixed bag of stuff. I would estimate that I probably have from those 11 runs, several divine, probably 5 divine napkin mathing this year. And the total inputs were what? I think 6 chaos worth of yellow beasts. I did buy my yellow beasts. 4C at most for my red beast, so that's 10C. And then a 2C jewel, which I did buy. So 12 chaos per run. I spent roughly 100 and let's just be generous and say 150 chaos. It was nowhere near that much, but let's just say I spent 150C and I got like 5 divine. And as you just saw, that took no time at all. I can throw all these into Faustus. Doesn't cost me anything to do that because the buyer pays the gold price, and someone will come in and buy them. These bad ones that are air quote bad, I can just sit and vol them and get a 2120. Some 2120s are actually really good. Other times they can just sit in your stash, and if you ever go run the lab or you go do certain things that'll give you the sacrifice a gem to get a faceter, you can convert this into a faceter's lens, which is also good. But enough about that. Instead, we're going to move on to the next one, which is this one, the valuable scarab from the Primal Crush Claw. Now, I am going to preemptively say this one costs more. The Primal Crush Claw by itself runs about 18 to 20 chaos. I make no reservations that this is going to be a profitable run. But sometimes it is. This one is a gamble. We're going to just type scarab. This one is a gamble. You can get really, really good ones, the tier 0 scarabs. You can get garbage scarabs that nobody uses but that are just super high rarity. It just depends. It's purely random. But at the time of recording, with yellow beasts costing only 2C each to do, and red beasts, also when you go to buy yellow beasts, people tend to farm them in bulk. So when you go to buy one from someone, they probably have another 100 in the same tab. So you can kind of carefully control click to buy all their scarabs. So, all right, so we got 3. And this is my 4th. I believe I only have one more. At the time of recording, I believe I paid 18 chaos for each of the red beasts on this. There's a good bet that you will pay, you'll pay 20C probably for these beasts. So whatever you go for, you do have to be careful to make sure that you are not getting scammed. So, all right, so this is what we got. So let's go ahead and talk about one last one in here, and then we will move on to pricing these. So the other really cool, well, I should say, not really cool per se, but useful thing that you can do with Bestiary is all the meta crafting. Specifically down here, you have re-roll a Watcher's Eye modifier, which will not touch the life, mana, and energy shield modifiers. And you have stuff like add a crafted meta modifier to a non-unique item, which, if you do it right, can lock the item so that you only can get the cannot be changed meta mod, which costs divines. These usually don't cost divines themselves, they usually cost half of that. So there's a little bit of RNG on the reroll Watchers, not a little bit, there's a lot of RNG on the reroll the Watcher's Eye, but this one can be deterministic, allowing you to save a lot of money when you're crafting your own gear. That can be really, really important. For gambling, you also have the turn into another random unique. This one's fun. supposedly, and I have not put the data to test this, supposedly it keeps the tier. So if you take a unique item that's tier 0 and you put it in here, supposedly this will give you a tier 0 back. I don't believe that that's the case. Like, that would be just busted, and these things would be worth infinity money as people hunt for like mage bloods and such. But that's what I have read, but grain of salt. Big, huge pile of salt on that one. The other really interesting one that you can do is these ones that add a specific mod to a specifically influenced item. These are better than exalts. Use them. That's all I'm going to say. Use them. Now, in the current league, exalting while in the ship is probably still much better than this, but we won't have that next league, so keep it in mind. And then, of course, you have the add remove. So if you have a mod that has one good suffix and two bad suffix, and you need an open suffix, well, you might be able to use an add a prefix to remove one random one, and it's a two out of 3 that you'll hit the right mod. Whereas like an annulment orb, you might brick the item by taking out your prefixes or whatever. So it can be very useful for certain things to remove modifiers that you don't want, or to add modifiers when you do. And then finally, double corrupting a map. This is usually not profitable, but if you are a map crafter, someone who actually is making super powerful maps, 8 mod chance, yada yada, 20 quality with the Kirak mod, if you're trying to make those super turbo juiced maps for group crafting, don't sleep on this. This is the only way to create those maps that you sometimes see that are 100% delirious with the increased 8 mods, while also having the like Kirak's quantity effects, whatever type modifiers, or rarity applies to whatever modifiers. Again, it's only really useful for group content, but fun. So with that, we're going to go ahead here and price those scarabs. We'll go back to Faustus for that. All right, so we got this. First up, the calcification scarab. This is only 28C, so we made basically 8 chaos off of that. Next up, we have this one. As I said, got trolled. Ain't worth a thing, right? Actually, I take that back. These are 28C. So far, I have 30C. I'm actually down money. But then I have these. And each one of these is 105 chaos. So with this, I am at 240C from these 4 scarabs. And I spent 20C plus 6, so 26C. So let's just say it's 25C. So I spent 100C to get 240C. More than doubled my money. And you saw how fast that was. You go bulk buy the red beast. You bulk buy your yellow beasts. You go into the menagerie and activate them all, which can take a couple seconds to do. And then you can just stand there with your bossing build or your really bad mapping build that you're using as a bossing build, and you profit. All the money that you see here currently in my tab, it's not a lot, and all of it has been gained from AFK activities. That is AFKing ultimatums for about a quarter of this money. All the Oshabi, all of this chaos came from my Oshabi fights for my video earlier, and also some ones I did just prior to that. These divines came from farming the harvest AFK, just stand there, get beat up. That's what this build does. And additionally, there's a further bit of money that I have gained from selling those gems, right? So increased critical damage support, 80C, feeding frenzy, 50C, cast on crit, 50C. I still have some of these here, right? And they may sell at these prices. They may not sell at these prices, and I may have to adjust them later. I don't know. Also, I wanted to point out one thing from my previous video. I mentioned how the divination card that you get from Oshabi gives you an elevated influenced item. And I totally spaced, and I don't know why I told you guys to sell the divination cards. Never sell the divination cards. Turn them in. Because if you get the elevated Tailwind mod, as an example, that mod is like 25 divines. You're getting a magic item with a 25 divine, potentially a 25 divine mod on it. And even if you don't, even something like this, Shocking Conflux, this is like Recombinator bait or Awakener or bait. Like, it's 100C. It's basically the same price as the div cards. Will it sell at this? Maybe. There's only a couple on the market, and they have been selling at between 100 and 150. So it might sit for a while, but eventually, yeah, it probably will sell. So just something to kind of keep in mind about my previous video. You know, take everything I say with a bit of a grain of salt. Try to understand that things are volatile, and I do make mistakes. So that is really all I have for you guys today on bestiary and beast crafting, things of that nature. Let me know either on Discord or in the comments if you feel like it. What do you guys think of these videos? I'm trying to do shorter format videos that are less than 20 minutes long. My previous videos where I was showcasing builds and interactions, they're 30 minutes, they're more in-depth. Here, I'm trying to limit things to a smaller number of mechanics, smaller number of things. Like as you saw, I only showcased these jewels and these scarabs and nothing else, right? There are all kinds of other crafting things I could have showed. I could have showed you buying the beasts, things like that, but I'm trying to limit it in order to keep the video time shorter for our people that don't have a half an hour to devote. Um, if this is still too long, I may attempt to bring it down to 10-minute videos with editing, where I just basically would cut out stuff like all these fights. I would just show maybe a placard on the screen with the various loots, like, say, Scuffed Guides does. I don't particularly like those kinds of videos, though. I feel that the majority of Path of Exile players are intelligent people, and they like to understand why number go up and not just simply number go up. So I try to make sure to give you guys content that will feed the brain, make you think, help you to learn something you maybe didn't know, like my video on the Festering Resentment Dagger. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and head out. I have a couple more videos planned for this week, so stay tuned for those. And if you like this stuff, let me know. I'll make more of it. I'll continue this series until I run out of non-mapping based content. And that's about it, really. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.